This video is made for adult collectors because this toy will literally talk your ear off. I just put him into truck mode and he won't shut up. Shut up. Stop it. No. No. Devastator had some interesting toys back in 2009, and he didn't see a proper full-fledged combiner till Studio Series some decade later. But he did have his own plethora of combining merch, specifically the Legion Class one, which I've looked at already, and this, the Supreme Class Devastator. I'm never doing that again. Yeah, this is Supreme Class Devastator from 2009, and it's one of the toys of all time, that's for sure. Okay, I'm putting this down. It's a bit awkward to hold like this. This is an interesting toy because the limbs don't actually have robot modes. Let's just break him down into his components and talk about that. You get 6 Constructicons. Long Haul, Scrapper, Scavenger, who doesn't fit in frame, Hightower, Mixmaster, and Rampage, who's yellow. The alt modes themselves look pretty good in all honesty. I don't have Studio Series Scavenger anymore, I need one. But this Scavenger feels like about the same size, if maybe not a tiny bit bigger. Long Haul and Rampage are pretty close to large deluxe or moderate Voyager size, which I wasn't expecting seeing as these are the smallest of the alt modes included. Long Haul's bucket can hold things like Lego, Warhammer Mini, don't fall out, there we go, Warhammer Minis, pretzels, you name it. But it doesn't tip, and honestly, I'm okay with that seeing as this is structural for the combined mode. Rampage's scoop does go up and down a little bit. That's nice, I wasn't expecting that. I like how they included the claw things on the back, and he's probably the one I think looks the most like a regular construction toy you can just buy from like Toys R Us or something. Hightower is a crane with some upside down buckets on the front, but he does look the part. He's the only one where I think the details get a bit muddy because there just isn't a lot of them on here, and what is here gets lost in the sea of unpainted yellow. Though Scrapper makes up for that with every single stud molded into the top of this thing. There's so much sculpted detail there, and it did like in the alt mode in general. The colors are an odd choice, but I think it still looks great. The bucket doesn't move though, but that's due to transformation. Then we have Mixmaster, who apparently got stung by a bee. Bro is bloated. Stop it. No. Good lord, he ate too much pasta too quickly. Oh my god. I barely touched it. I barely touched it. And is feeling it. It's probably my least favorite alt mode. Scavenger is massive, and this bucket works and everything. Though I find the top of it likes to come apart every once in a while. The way all this plugs in just isn't the strongest. I do really like the use of white though. It really breaks up all that red, and then there are these massive warts on the bucket arm, but that's for combined mode, which is pretty much all this thing does, so let's get to that. So we'll start by taking this, folding that down, taking this, cording it down. They both click into place. Here's the back section that just likes to undo itself, but it'll undo itself, and you bring this around. It'll snap in. Then you take this. From what I can tell from the pictures, you bring this around, and then you bring this up. That snaps into place. That compresses to the bottom. And that's the torso pretty much done. This is where overload would be, which, by the way, there's overload. Okay. Now we're going to do Mixmaster just to get him out of the way. Shut. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this section and shout over him while we pull that out, and then push this in here. Now he's just gonna make robot mode noises. So we're going to take this, and then this is going to shove into here and click into place. Then I'm going to bring these little flaps. Now the flaps, they have, move that up. They have red detail on them like this, and they're supposed to lay out like that. They don't stay on mine, so what I do is I leave them folded in by one layer, and that works perfectly fine for me, but there is extra detail down there. You can also give him rabbit ears, if you want to give him rabbit ears. Notice how when Mixmaster's plugged in, he doesn't make any noise? So Rampage, basically you're just gonna extend it. Bring that down, clip this into place, very soft clip, and then bring that down, bring the foot forward. And that is a leg. Long Haul, similar sort of situation. You bring this around, it will clip into place. And there you have the legs. So now, let's get the idiot back in here. I know what your name is. You plug the legs in to the warts that are hanging off. And just sort of get him balanced. Oh! Right. Now I'm going to bring these forward and then out by one because it just makes things a little bit easier. You take high tower, bring that up, unpeg the treads. I always forget to do that first. And then bring this whole hand down, fold this up, and then just sort of like splay the fingers and thumbs out. And then that is going to plug into here somehow. It's very difficult. There we go. I have been told that these joints, if removed incorrectly, like to shear themselves off. So that is something you're gonna have to be careful with. And then scrapper. My scrapper has an issue where these connector points are extremely tight and I often rip the buckets off the armatures. So we're gonna try not to do that here. Okay, that one almost came off. That one almost came off, but we did it. Then you take this, you rotate this around, and then these just become his little fingies. And we're going to, nope, come on. There we are. We did it. Devastator's combined now. That looks goofy as hell. Much like the Studio Series one, it's compromised, but it looks it's so goofy that I love it. It's this big, dumb, loud-ass toy that goes click every time you move something, and it's so up my alley. And this massive face. The Takara one has red on it, but the Hasbro one got the plain gray. Still a pretty good head though. He is sort of hunched over and he can't really do the crawling pose. Like this is the best you can really get it in. Otherwise he'll just lean backwards. He does scale pretty well with Legion figures. I don't have any from this movie specifically, but yeah, they look pretty good next to this Devastator. And of course he does the whole I can eat your toys thing. And then when you open up the back of his head, you can legit shove things in there and then they'll come out the other side. But unlike the movie, they don't come out in a cloud of steam. You get your whole toy back. Give me my Lego Ninjago figure. He does make noises though, as you've seen previously. He's a loud ass dude. All right, time to hear him make all the noises. Intentionally this time. So you pull on this little thing here and... he makes sounds. I'm gonna turn the lights off so we can actually see the lights in his face. Now his articulation is just kind of forget about it. The head doesn't do anything. It does that. That's it. Yeah, you're laughing because you won't shut up. The shoulders, soft ratchets that can go around full 360. Very nice ratchets going in and out. You got elbow bends. You have a ratcheted bicep rotation. This hand has 2 fingers and a thumb. This hand has 2 fingers and a thumb. And then the legs, they can rotate forward and back. Then you have the knee, and then you have the foot. But like, he needs to stay like this to balance. If he doesn't, he just kind of falls over. He's ready to go right now, actually. So yeah, it doesn't really do much. I am quite surprised with how much this goes for now. It was $100 US back in the day, which is a lot, and you can find some used ones for about 150 to 180-ish. I got this sealed and it was expensive. It was expensive, that's for sure. Fortunately, I had trade credit, so I didn't actually spend anything on it. Thanks, Comic Alley Toys, not sponsored. If you can find one for cheap and love big dumb toys, then this is a pickup for sure. But if you want a good Devastator, just the Studio Series box set, I guess. But that's my look at Supreme Class Revenge of the Fallen Devastator. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.